How do you write on a short deadline? That's the topic I'm addressing today with the right question. I'm Daphne Gray Grant, the publication coach, still in pandemic mode. I have a question from Alam Solomon, a research assistant at Michigan State University. Here's what she asked by email. What's your advice for writing on short deadlines? I just had to write something for which I had only 24 hours. I could finish and polish it, yet I could not do anything else. Thanks for your question, Alam. I may be the perfect person to answer it because for so much of my life, I had to work on exceedingly short deadlines. I used to be a senior editor for a large metropolitan daily newspaper. Just about everything I wrote or edited had to be produced on a 24-hour deadline, and I came to love that constraint because it helped calm my anxiety. I didn't have to worry so much about the quality of my work. I just had to focus on producing it on time. This may shock you if you believe that writers always need to be highly concerned about the quality of their work. No, they do not. In fact, obsessing over quality is precisely what derails so many writers. Here's why. You let your internal editor take over. You know, that tiny but persistent voice at the back of your mind that says things like, "Is the quality of my writing good enough? Is my boss going to be pleased with this work? What gives me the right to make comments like this?" And before you know it, you won't be able to write another word. If you have a super short deadline, rejoice. That means your primary focus will be on meeting it. This is a whole lot easier than dealing with quality concerns. Here are a few other tips for dealing with short deadlines. Be sure to separate the different parts of the writing process. If your deadline is short, you may be inclined to moosh all the different steps together. In other words, you may try to research and write at the same time, or write and edit at the same time. But if your deadline is super short, it's even more important to separate these steps. Why? You'll be much faster this way and the process will be much more enjoyable. I'm including a link in the show notes about how to break the habit of editing while you write. Don't forget the really important step of incubation. See link in the show notes. This step means, after writing, you need to take a break before editing. I know. With a 24-hour deadline, this break is going to need to be really short. But try to make it at least 30 minutes and do something radically different so you can take your mind off what it is you were writing. Here's a list of things you could do. Write something else. Read something else. Take a lunch or coffee break. Do some administrivia such as filing or email. Talk to someone else. This time away will give you the perspective you need to be a better self-editor. Get some help from your colleagues. It's hard to be a really effective self-editor when your deadline is just 24 hours away. Newspapers have editors who review the work of all their reporters, so that kind of professional review is built into their system. In your case, you might ask a trusted colleague to review your work to ensure it's clear enough. Understand that you're not wasting your time when you pursue all of these steps. Instead, you're freeing your mind to become a better self-editor. Alam, don't blame yourself when you're not able to do other work when you're facing a super short deadline. You didn't tell me the length of the document you had to produce, but if it was long or important, for example, a grant application, I'm sure your boss wanted you to make it your priority. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from Leila Gifty Akita, founder of the Smart Youth Volunteers Foundation. "Without deadlines, nothing gets done." Alam, if you need to write to a short deadline, understand that your most important job is to meet that deadline. Just be certain to separate all aspects of the writing process. The thinking, the researching, the writing, the editing, and make sure you allow yourself a healthy incubation period. If you'd like to learn more about how to make writing a happier and more rewarding process, check out my latest book, Your Happy First Draft. It's not available in bookstores or on Amazon. The only place you can get it is my website, link below and in the show notes.